there are at times when there's a reason we have lawyers, right? So everybody needs to keep us in check because we're all fallible. We all make mistakes. We all may see it initially one way, and it takes someone else to bring us to see why we make an incorrect decision initially.
Hi, Judge. We got appointed on Eric Matt. I wanted to approach about probable cause on both cases.
Okay.
And we haven't arraigned this defendant yet, have we?
We have.
Oh, we have. Oh, okay. I have no idea. I just got it. I don't know if the judge heard the facts.
I did. And I know that he had no prior notice, but they do, according to the statute, have the ability to exclude. And if you fail to leave at that point, and that's what I was looking at, he refused. Let me pull up the statute. Hold on. I don't want to speak wrong.
Is it alleged as a refusal to leave?
It seemed like to me because he kept, now, of course, it doesn't have to be verbal, right? The refusal doesn't have to be verbal, like, screw you, I'm not going anywhere.
Well,
I think
yes, from
action
so
and the ability to affirmatively,
I understand, but he's actually a legitimate, like his sister-in-law lives there. His family's here.
they asked him.
He didn't respond though. And I don't think he has to respond because I want to talk to you about the initial detention. I think that
Remember, this is a mere probable cause hearing. We're just to see whether he, like when you're getting to like facts as to like mental health, he's inebriated.
I get that. But actually the detention is a fact in this case because when you're talking about interference with public duties, you're talking about the officers executing a lawful duty. That's part of the state's language on probable cause. They have to actually prove that the officer's exercising a lawful duty of detaining.
Let's get that. Well, right. So there's a logical step-by-step. So let me pull the...
Judge, can I go pull my computer real quick?
Yeah, go for it. Okay, I'm ready. Okay. You ready, Shreya? A person commits an offense if the person enters or remains on or in property of another, including residential, agricultural, recreational, vehicle, park, building, general residential operation operating as a residential treatment center or aircraft or other vehicle without the effective consent and the person. So we've got the first part of the statute. He's there. Number one, had noticed that the entry was forbidden or received notice to depart but failed to do so.
I love that, Judge, but that's not what the state's alleging. They're alleging notice that entry was forbidden, enter and remain without the effective consent.
Say it again.
With notice entry was forbidden, intentionally
Saying there wasn't notice?
the entry was forbidden?
Correct.
Yes, he's a guest. If they have alleged it as...
He didn't say that.
Sir?
Are they supposed to assume that? He didn't say that. They asked him.
I think the detention is illegal in general, but let's just say the detention is valid. Okay, Judge, let's entertain that for a second.
Will you read it again?
He's a guest. He's walking on the property, walking out. He wasn't just standing around. He was actually walking around. He wasn't entering. He wasn't remaining.
They said he's dressed. He's got a hoodie. He's got it over his head. He's got a mask covering his whole face.
Make it sound like he's a monster. I get it.
They come up to him. They start asking him questions.
They don't have any reason to, and he doesn't have to answer. It's not illegal to wear a hoodie.
And it's not illegal to come as a consensual encounter to talk to someone.
Wait, so then why does he even have to tell them where he was?
They're trying to see if he lives here because it's a high crime area. There's a lot of crime that's going on.
They are. So they're trying to detain him. They're trying to question him.
Well, they're trying to see whether he lives there.
Right, because they're trying to question him. So that's not consensual, Judge. We can't say it's consensual, but then say if you don't answer, you're going to get arrested for trespass.
So that you're telling me that no one can ever go up to a person that's randomly walking on an apartment complex to see if they live there?
No, they can. If there's reasonable suspicion to do so. You have to be able to detain. No, I do not think the police can just detain whoever is walking through an apartment complex. And if they do, I do believe that that person has an absolute right to not answer. And just because they don't answer, you cannot arrest them. It's exactly like if the detention was illegal and they fail to ID, you can't fail to ID when you don't have to ID. And on top of that, Judge, he really wasn't trespassing. We have family members, like, even if he was trespassing, my stance is they cannot go up and detain him. If you're saying, Judge, he had to answer that, then it was a lawful detention. So if you're finding that there was a lawful detention because he was wearing a hoodie.
Dan, do you need me to just sign something?
Judge, I'm approaching you because you didn't sign any paperwork and because I think that's totally true.
Okay, we'll do. Sorry.
No, we're good.
Can you?
So would you like me to read PC
Yeah.
again? Okay. So on 10/30, 24 officers were patrolling an apartment complex in Harris County, Texas that is known to have a high amount of crime. Officers are familiar with the property manager who's complained about trespassers in the past. There were multiple no trespassing, no loitering signs throughout the apartment complex.
Entry is forbidden. Notice that entry is forbidden. Okay.
Officers observed the defendant walking around the apartment complex wearing a hoodie with a hood up and a mask covering his whole face, holding an unknown object in his pocket. Officers asked the defendant if he lived in the complex, and the defendant did not answer. Officers believed that crime was afoot as the defendant refused to remove his hands from his pockets. Officers attempted to Terry frisk the defendant for any weapons. Defendant refused to be patted down for weapons.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, they just start searching him.
Is afoot? What crime is afoot?
What crime is afoot?
I mean, really? I mean, I get it. I mean, they're saying that there's reasonable suspicion that he's committed an offense because his hands are in his.
And he's wearing a hoodie.
I think that in the offense report, it mentioned, or in the DIMS, that it mentions that it looked like there was a bulge in his pocket. I believe that was why the frisk was initiated. But otherwise,
Usually, you're right. Usually, in that instance, a crime has been committed, right? Like they see someone throw something, or. So let's do this. Give me a second. Let me do this plea. If you want to reach out to Michael to see if he has anything else, but yeah, okay.
Wow.
There are at times when there's a reason we have lawyers, right? So everybody needs to keep us in check because we're all fallible. We all make mistakes. We all may see it initially one way, and it takes someone else to bring us to see why we make an incorrect decision initially. And initially, I found PC in this case, but I see what you mean as far as they come up, they initially just, I guess, start searching, right? They talk to him initially, and then when I guess he doesn't give them an acceptable answer, they just start searching him and frisk him. So. All right, I'll find no probable cause. Well, yeah, obviously it's fruit, right? Fruit of the poisonous tree?
Yes.
Okay.
okay, I'll just wait.
Thank you.
A few moments later.
I found no probable cause on your cases and they're being dismissed today. You go back to this location and you go back all covered up like you are with the hoodie, mask covered on in a high crime area. How do you think the officers are going to look at you? Right. Perception is reality. If you look like a thug, people will treat you like a thug. So I'm finding no probable cause. All I'm telling you to do is be careful because life is difficult. And the older you get, it gets more difficult. If you don't have a future, you're going to have a terrible life. Life is a journey. It can either be really good or it could be an awful journey where you never do anything in life, ever have no money, and never take no vacations. Do you have a child?
Sir.
90% of divorces in this country because people have no money. All they do is fight. Do something with your life, Mr. Man. Don't be a statistic. All right, guys. Good luck.